welcome. On this video, I'm here once again with Sade for service dog training. And on this video, I'm going to be continuing to interact with her through the basic method. And again, we're just a couple days into this, and I would encourage anyone watching the process, watching the videos, is to go through the videos day by day and to observe change based on the level of agreeableness increasing, the level of focus increasing, how I connect the dots through task-specific training. And again, with Milo, you'll see the whole process, the whole 4-month process with him, and how I'm actually building bridges, making sure he's performing tasks the right way. And again, with really making sure the level of focus is increasing the whole entire way through the whole process. So here with Sadie, I'm out here again continuing to interact with her. You can tell she's again came here very stressed. Okay, a lot of stress on her by way of again relationship control. If you take a look at the video I did on the vehicle, okay, that's again one of the things that I'm kind of rebuilding bridges on in terms of getting her to be motivated with going into a vehicle the right way. And so here in this video, you're going to see me continuing to interact with her, just doing like the circle method. And you notice even here as I'm talking, I'm being proactive with, again, continuing to interact with her and bring her back into the sit position. But again, the interaction is the focus, okay, the role of influence. So it's all about these interactions that are very specific that she comes into agreement with, but again, reconciling the role of influence. So influence is part of the equation, just like parental influence. So it's not about bribing dogs, which is very popular, okay? This is about following the right path. Dogs are social animals. So again, she pops up here out of the sit as I'm talking, guide her back in, do a little push-pull, and I'm going to nudge the leash. So this is about giving her comfort, okay, the right way. Just like a child that gets comfort through the right parenting style, okay? Just about giving her comfort, and this allows her to release more and more stress as we move forward in the process. So I'm going to start to move with her here. As I move forward, just a one-step type of method. I'm going to bring her over, put her in, little push-pull, moving forward with her here, guiding her over. It's very interesting too. You see how dogs don't want to actually go right here. Okay, they want to be up front. They want to be over here a few inches, or if that's not working, they'll try to stop the walk. So she pops up, she's trying to get away here a little bit. I'm just kind of adjusting her movements, a little push-pull, getting her to be in agreement with coming where I'm at. Okay, you understand, this is why this is the type of power play, and why you'll see her kind of move and shift away at a certain level, because she knows what I'm doing. See, same thing. So when she moves up, knows her body goes that way. I'm going to bring her back over, put her back into the position, little push-pull, tapping a little bit, again, going for a little bit of inwardness here, move forward. Now as I move forward, I have my hand ready to, corral her over, right? And here I get the pressure collar, but I'm not putting too much influence through it, just enough to control her. And again, she pops up, back in. I'm not in a panic, but I'm just going to keep working her back in, because it's all about my moments, okay? Her popping up is normal, okay, based on the level of control that she's holding. And so again, as I continue to do this, again, it's the same interactions all the time, her level of acceptance and agreeableness will increase, okay? So I'm just stationary here like this. When I get ready to move, now here's the thing, is I'm not going to move forward until I get her to settle down or settle into this interaction for a few seconds, because it's pointless. So you don't want to move forward too much here. Okay, just tap a little bit. You notice this is having a little bit of a stress reaction on her too. So this is a transitional stress, which is different than the constant stress that she's always holding. Now she get up here again. Now here's the thing. Same thing, when you're doing this, you notice that will pop up, pop up, pop up. Then you want to just, again, there's a little bit of accommodation. I'm not moving, but then if I feel like, if I engage too quickly, too soon, it could create too much conflict. And so I just give her a moment and see, put her back in. Because some of this she's got to work through, okay? It's like there's a working through part of this too. Doesn't mean I'm accommodating her that way. It means that my accommodation is I'm just taking my time. I'm still fully in control, just like this. I'm in control right now, and I'm not panicking because she popped out of the sit position, okay? She knows I'm in control. I'm going to put her back in the sit position in a moment. I'm giving her some extra time here a little bit, okay, to accept. See that? It's just helpful. So sometimes when you're dealing with a dog that has a lot of control, take your time, okay? Just take your time. But you have to become solid. You're like the pillar, okay? Don't move to the dog. If you move to the dog's leading you. You know, when you start to do this, you gotta set solid each time. Move out here a little bit, and then make the adjustment. Little push pull. Now I'm gonna put her into a down here. You notice when I do the down, I'm applying pressure, influence. She comes down, and do a little push pull, and she's down there. Then I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna relax for a second, and just again, this helps take more stress off of her, and just take my time. So just like very intentional, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And notice I haven't gone very far yet. I've just gone right to here. That's because that's what's needed. I mean, don't think about a couple. Don't think about distance. Okay, this is about, you know, integrity. This is about relationship. This is about fading in, all those themes. This is about taking stress off the dog, because if you go too fast, okay, that will cause a problem too, because dog's mind starts jumping ahead. Okay, dogs are really amazing animals, and understanding about really making sure that you're doing very intentional with how you do this method. And so here, again, give her a moment. But again, when I bring her up, satisfy just enough influence so she knows what I want. And then back in. See the leaning away. You notice it's kind of leaning away because she's saying, you know what? Dale's a different creature here. Okay, he's taking control, and you know, I don't want to be right beside him this way, because she knows what this means in a good way. But she comes into acceptance, just like think of the selfish child that fights against the parent moving into a different parenting style. That's really what it is. The selfish child is like saying, I don't want, you know, I have control here. I can do what I want to do, which, you know, they're not in a good place, right? And the parent starts to engage differently, starts to interact differently, well, the same type of response. The child saying, you're going to get some kickback, right? And the amount of pushback is going to correspond to the level of selfishness that's going on. So here, the level of kickback or pushback you get from a dog corresponds to the level of control they've gained in the relationship. But the only way to gain context to know where you're standing is through this interaction type of approach, okay? Because the response to this, okay, will line up. You'll be able to make sense, okay? You'll be able to say, now I know why the dog is not doing this, or stressed here, or has this reaction, all right? So this reveals truth, but also creates change at the same time. So it does both. There's like a duality here. So again, see, I take my time. I have control. I'm going to keep doing these little moments here. I'm not moving, you know, like I said, it doesn't serve a purpose to move forward yet. You know, I want her to start to relax. So from this position, to help that along, same thing. I'm going to put another down on here. So same thing, if you're a dog that's, you know, that's really popping out a lot of the interaction, then add a down on to help to get the mind down. Okay, it helps to kind of move things along a little quicker. So add a down on to help give me a break, so I don't have to keep pushing and pushing and bending over. Especially if people have back issues, be careful. Okay, you can do this from a seated position. You can make certain adjustments, but the down, and you add the down on as well, help the dog just to relax for a few minutes, to give me a break. And then if, say, I'm talking to somebody, I'll put her in a down position, and I can talk, and this is helpful. Okay, I have better control. But sometimes, if you do too many downs, okay, and that can cause a problem too, because, you know, the sit position, that type of interaction helps the dog work it out. You know, it's more engagement. It's more kind of a power play that way. So everything has a purpose, but you have to be aware when you're doing certain things they can generate a problem at the same time, okay, if you don't have a certain level of awareness. So here, this is, see, she'll pop up. Now she popped up on her own there. Notice how I wasn't trying to interfere with that, just trying to jam her down or do anything. That's not what this is about. Okay, this is about my moments. So when I'm assessing her and deciding, you know, how I'm going to engage and move forward, this is what it is right here. This makes sense to me. I'm just going to take my time and be very intentional, just like, you know, do a lot of repetition, a lot of interaction this way. Because I can tell from her reaction too, where she gets really kind of locks down more and get near the crate. Okay, because she's like saying, I don't want to go, you know, in the crate based on Dale being in control. You know, she's going to have a certain reaction. So, which is normal. It changes the context of everything. Back in, a little push pull. And when I'm doing this too, I'm calm. I'm not upset. I'm not mad, I'm not angry. Okay, this is just about my moments. So when you do this type of interaction, this isn't about a power play where you're getting personal with the dog. Okay, this is just about relationship. I'm the parent that is very controlled, right? Because it's the method. And then knowing that her response is like popping out and stuff like that, that's normal. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to, you know, move the other way with it. But there is a little bit of just accepting the process here for what it is. See, she popped up pretty quick there that time. Now I'm going to do push-pull. Now I'm going to put her back in another down again. But I'm going to stop here shortly because when it comes to my goals here, my goals is to, it's kind of like circuit training. I'm doing a little bit here with her. I'm making an adjustment. I'm not moving as fast. Okay, I'm more stationary like this because I need her to relax more. This is like a de-stressing exercise. So I'm not, my goal here based on her responses isn't to start to move too quickly at all. It's about just getting her to settle in to the integrity of these interactions, and then I'll begin to move forward. So I'm going to stop here in just a moment. Now notice here, I move forward. See that? Kind of locking in a little bit here. Now she locks in like this. See her locking in is a good example. I'm just locking in. I have enough influence through here. She knows the intent, but I'm not putting enough through here to put her into physical distress. Okay, this is physiological. So when you see reaction from a dog, there's stress already on here. Just be aware when you see dogs have a certain reaction where they're carrying on and really like the breathing. Like right now, her breathing's changed a little bit. That's stress. Okay, that's a stress reaction. So what I'll do is I will accommodate a little bit by stopping, because the intent here is for agreeableness with buckling her mind. It's like the tug of war team that collapses. So I'll take her mind to just to the very point with influence. See that? There's a great example. She buckled, she agreed, she moved forward. Okay, that's what this is. The whole system's about. This isn't about physical force with overwhelming dogs. Okay, they'll seem overwhelmed. Okay, at times, because there's stress on them. Okay, so you have to understand, you got to reconcile the response by way of relationship. You have to line it up physiologically. Because physically, okay, if you look at a response, you may assume things that aren't true. Okay, this is why the system of training is very, you know, there's a lot of depth here, but there's a lot of method technique with how I'm, you know, getting dogs to come into agreement. It's all about the technique, it's all about the method. Okay, see, she popped up. I'm just taking my time. Her breathing changed a little bit here. And again, because when she gives a little, I give. That's the whole point. So even though the choke chain will look tight, it just looks tight. A lot of times, you know, there's enough there just to control her, but when she buckles, I'm releasing. Okay, because it's got to make sense to her, because the whole point of this isn't to create a war. Okay, this isn't about creating conflict just to create conflict. Okay, this is about agreeableness, where she's saying, well, this is making sense. She's just like a selfish child. I don't like it, all right? So she's going to have a certain response that way, but she's going to come into agreement with it because it's all about technique. Okay, this is what makes the system of training really special. See right here? Now move, see that? Now she moved forward here. The back, got my moment, little push pull. But you notice, you know, you observe a little lock down for a second, right? Right here, see I'll tap a little bit and see how her head moved toward. Now she moved up again a little bit. Same thing, just smooth and fluid. Bring her over. Little push pull. And then You know, same thing. So it's like 1, 2, 3. She popped up again. I'm not in a panic. I'm just, you know, but now she's staying closer to me here. And all I'm doing is I'm kind of waiting for my moment, right, to move my hand and then, you know, bring her back into that interaction again. So I'll say she's doing really good. You know, this is all about like kind of at first like a de-stressing exercise, taking stress off of her. And again, a lot of repetition, but the interactions are all the same. So she makes sense of it. It's the language of the method. Thanks for watching.